Good evening. So we have a very exciting evening here tonight that we're all looking forward to, bringing forth quite a bit of new things in the community. We are going to have a very short meeting here so that then we can actually move on to our festivities and the appreciation and the networking that we like to do in our community. So I'm going to start out by asking if there's a motion for us to start this meeting.
I'll make a motion to begin the meeting.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, this meeting is now in order. Let the record reflect that it's currently 7:02, and we will start with a pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now if we can remain standing and have a moment of silence for those who are shut in, people who need our help, people who need our concern, love and care and concern. So let's give it a moment of silence. Okay, we can also have a moment of silence so that we can rejoice in our happiness, the wonderful things happening in our lives, our family and friends, and all those who we know care about us, and just the air we get to breathe every day. Let's take a moment and rejoice. Okay, thank you. Well, I hope everybody's new year has been started out very well. Before I go on with other things, I do want to make a point to offer our personal condolences to Mr. John Moss, who has passed away in the last month, who was the chief of police in Bladensburg as well as the town administrator, and so many other things to us in the community. So we're saddened by his loss and want to offer our condolences to the family and Bladensburg. So moving on to more exciting things, as you all know, we're also excited that since Shoppers has made a decision to leave, which is a very important grocery store in our community for all these years and in so many different ways, that we're blessed that Compare Foods has decided to purchase our Shoppers for their Compare Foods store. We'll start saying Compare Foods instead of Shoppers soon enough. But also they purchased 3 other stores in Maryland, so we're really blessed to have them come into the community. I want to start out with Mr. Luss, who is a partner in the shopping center, who would like to make the introductions.
Good evening.
Good evening.
It's wonderful to see everybody here tonight, Mayor and Council, and soon to be sworn in Chief Stone. Congratulations, and such a great attendance from so many colleagues and people who care so deeply about this community. My family, along with the Fernebach family, have been partners in the shopping center for over 30 years. We did have a 30-year run with Shoppers Food, which was good, but it came to an ending very, very sadly. We were very concerned. I know you were very concerned, and we are so pleased that we found, that is, Shoppers actually found, and they sent them to us, and we said, this is great news. So we found a new tenant along with Shoppers and the people from Super Value, Compare Foods. And Compare Foods actually just this month won a national award in the grocery industry as being a grocer of the year. So they are an East Coast grocer, but they're receiving national attention. Now they're going to receive attention from Colmar Manor and Cottage City and Mount Rainier. You know, they have been described to me as an international grocer, as an ethnic grocer, as a Latino grocer, but I've actually visited a bunch of their stores, and what I've come up with, the best way to describe them is they are a damn good grocer. DGG, that's what they are, because they listen. They listen to their community and provide what their community really wants and needs. And they're good at serving all kinds of different communities, as we obviously have here. I have a sister-in-law who is sort of white as I am, and she shopped at one of their stores in Long Island for years, and just speaks very highly of them. The principal of Compare Foods is with us. I'm going to ask him to come up. Leo Eligio Pena. He is accompanied by his wife, who I want to ask to come up, Maria Pena. Now, there are certain things I've learned because the store started stocking yesterday. There are certain things that you go to Leo for, to ask Leo to do this, that, or the other, and it happens. But then when there's a real crunch and you really need this to be done, you ladies know you always go to the lady, right? You always go to the lady. So Maria is right there, and they are partners hand in hand in this enterprise. Like some of you, Leo is actually an immigrant. He was a refugee, and I give a quick little bio. A refugee from the Dominican Republic. He came here to New York City in 1970. He worked in a Puerto Rican bodega, which he bought in a couple of years. He drove a taxi. He got a degree in business administration, and soon he was getting all of his brothers and sisters and cousins and aunts and uncles into the grocery business. His store, Compare Foods, the chain, has about 100 stores from Long Island, from New York City, New Jersey, down into the Carolinas. My wife and I visited a couple of their stores in Philly just recently, and we were really, really impressed. Leo and Maria join our immigrants at the shopping center. I am so proud of our stores at the Port Town Shopping Center. We have 4 immigrant tenants who are from Bangladesh. We have tenants from Ethiopia, from Vietnam, from China, from Pakistan, from Korea. Did you see the Oscars? The Koreans won the Oscars. From India. I mean, I walk around the shopping center and I talk to people. Everybody's getting along and serving the community, and I am so proud of them. And I think to myself, this is America. You know, this is America, you know, at its best, and it's right here. So I want to say to everybody, start spreading the news. They're coming today. We're all a part of it. The Compare, our food desert blues are melting away. We're gonna make a new start of it. Compare's gonna stay. For they have made it, there they've made it everywhere, and now they're here. Colmar Manor. Colmar Manor, here they are.
Thank you. Good. Yes.
Well, that's a great introduction. I didn't expect that much. No, thank you very much for allowing me to be with you this evening. And we are really happy to come from North Carolina, because we jumped from New York to North Carolina 20 years ago, and I came back. Even though, I have to be honest with you, I was trying to get into DC 30 years ago, and I didn't find the right locations. Then I went to North Carolina. Over there we find a lot of locations, and we grew up pretty good over there. So now the shopper want to go out, so we say, well, great opportunity to go back to Maryland and do business in Maryland too. And I find out that those stores were really important to the community, really important. I mean, we got 5 stores, and those 5 stores, they're really like part of the community. And I see the people suffering now going far to get what they need, or go to the small mom and pop to get the milk and bread, you know. Then you pay a little high price for that. So we're really happy to be here, and I want you to know that when we started in Long Island 31 years ago, you know, this size, well, before Compare, I was working with Associated Grocery in New York. I mean, running my own supermarket with Associated name. 1986, because New York is what it is, you know, a mixed city, so I thought there was a good idea to bring a bilingual name into New York. That time was no bilingual name in New York, so Compare was the first bilingual. And I want you to know, and I see someone from Philippines and different country, that we got Compare because it was English and Spanish, but then we found out that there's about 7 different languages. Same name, Portuguese, French, Italian, almost every language with Latin background is Compare food. So it's easy for everyone. But again, the main thing is that wherever Compare goes to, Compare is part of the community. So that can be through public school, through church, in any service that a community needs. Compare is like a mini church for the community. And I want to make sure that people understand that we are a business place, we are a supermarket, but we're dealing with human beings. And human beings have needs. And Compare is to support the community in any way as possible. And one thing that we do in North Carolina, maybe we have to do it over here if it's necessary, since we are multiple language, when public school has meeting, like a parents, teacher meetings, and they have a lot of people who do not speak English, so we supply cashiers, bilingual cashier, to help to connect the teachers and the parents, because sometimes, you know, parents do not speak the language and teachers do not speak parents' language, so we connect. And we do that in every city in North Carolina, so we're willing to do over here if it's a need for that right here in Colmar Manor. But again, see Compare as your American supermarket with a strong international taste. That's who we are. Whatever was in Shopping before will be in Compare Food. Matter of fact, the supplier for Compare Food is Super Value, who owns Shopper. Okay, so they sell in the supermarket, but they still supply supermarket as a wholesaler. So Super Value will be the supply, which is the same supply for Shopper now. So it will be the same merchandise, plus we add more merchandise, international merchandise. Okay, thank you very much. I'll take more time. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
One of the things, well, I'm Maria. I'm, his sidekick, or when things need to get done, normally they call me. But I do want to reassure that it is very important for us to have all of the community, all the residents, feel like this is still their store. We have kept all the aisles the same, so all the merchandise will be going the same spot. So wherever you found your bread, you can find it. Wherever the milk was or the eggs, the customers, the residents can just go right in and be able to walk right to where it used to be, because it's gonna be right there. So we want the community to feel like this is still their store. We will be adding an additional diversity of products within the mix, but you're gonna have everything that you had. And one of the things that Leo believes strongly, if one family or one customer tells us, we need this item, we'll hunt that item down and we'll have it on the shelves for them. So if you just moved from another part of Maryland or from Virginia, and you used to have that item in Virginia, and you can't find it in the chains, in the supermarket chains, we're small enough where we can still bring in that one item for that one person. And we always believe if one person's asking for it, there's others that stay quiet and they also need it. Lastly, I want to add that Chopper's Foods had many great employees. We are keeping lots of the employees within the locations that we will be opening.
Great, thank you.
So, a former manager at the location at Colmar Manor, Mr. Patrick, will be on board with us. Incredible. We have people like Juana in pricing, Cece, one of the cashiers that also helped in pricing, and these are just names that I'm getting to know these last couple of days because we're working with them. We also have Mr. Kurt Mercer, head butcher, and we will be acquiring, these are just names, as I mentioned, that I know by heart because we are working hand in hand, but within the teams, they're already, the people already in. Patrick has helped us integrate the Shoppers employees, and we feel very happy and we feel great having this wonderful team that we have already started to push forward to make sure that these doors open on Saturday and no one has to go another couple of miles out if they don't have a car and send by their milk. Okay? So, thank you.
Well, thank you. I want to thank you so much.
Time is the ribbon cutting. Time is the ribbon cutting.
Okay, so I thank you guys so much for your urgency in moving forward. The blessings abound in terms of bringing back so many of the employees that were there. As you guys have artfully stated, this is such a close-knit community of many small towns who all have enjoyed having the opportunity of that grocery store, and the grocery store is a part of our family. So we thank you so much for everything that you've done. I hope you stay around with us tonight while we swear in our police chief, our code enforcement officer, and do a little bit of networking so you get an opportunity to meet some of the people from the community. Is there anything that any council members would like to say to them?
Welcome. You'll find the town of Colmar Manor in College City is a great place to have your store. We're so excited. Cannot wait until Saturday, I think, when the grand opening. I didn't realize how much I depended on shoppers getting back and forth to work. So we're excited, and welcome to our town.
Welcome, and thank you for choosing Colmar Manor to bring your store into our community. Very much needed. We didn't know how much we missed the store until the store was gone. Looking forward to ribbon cutting on Saturday. Thank you.
So we're not ribbon cutting on Saturday. There's a soft lunch on Saturday, so I hope everybody will go ahead and come on out, visit the store, see the things you like, take a look around if you have any comments or concerns. As the Peñas has mentioned, they're wide open to listening to what we have to say. And then sometime in March, when they're comfortable with it being just the way they want it to be, that's when we'll do a ribbon cutting, correct?
Yes. Thank you.
All right, well, thank you so much. And so, that's it?
No.
I'm sorry. The hours? 7:30 to 10.
That's good.
7 days a week.
If we find that we need to extend them, we will consider that and then extend it. So nothing's written in stone, but at this moment,
Anybody have any other quick questions? We'll have an opportunity to network and actually talk to them directly. I want to get through this pretty quickly because I don't want to lose Delegate Fennell, who has to go back to Annapolis. And I think we'll get through the rest of what we have here that we need to just have in about 10 minutes. I do want to recognize folks that are in the audience right now. We have Mayor Miles from Mount Rainier. We have Commissioner Wheatley from Cottage City. Commissioner Lewis from Cottage City. That's not Danielle. Commissioner Danielle, okay, from Cottage City. And we have Mayor Gant. Oh, I didn't even see her come in. Mayor Gant from Evanston. We have Delegate Fennell, 47th District. And our former mayor. And I saw Jared Hawkins. Did you? Oh, there he is back there. Jared Hawkins from Senator Cardin's office. Anybody else I missed from elected? Okay, cool. So we'll move on. So I'll quickly just report on actions taken in the last work session, which was we met with Mayor Malden from Capitol Heights, and he discussed the Black Mayors Innovative Conference, which we'll discuss further in March for attendance. We did make a big decision around police, which was to raise our minimum amount that we pay our police officers to $55,000 and our sergeant to $70,000. As residents, I think that you guys may be pleased, and that decision was to stop the continuous turnaround that we have with police, because we did an analysis, and the analysis showed that we're not paying enough money to keep our police officers. And so we voted on making that a decision as our minimums. We also voted to bring in an electronic sign. We'll be primarily using funding that we received through Comcast and Verizon on a regular basis for their being in our community in our reserve. So we'll primarily using that in order to get that electronic sign as soon as possible. We approved an agreement with Service Line Warranty Program, which Maryland Municipal League has referred to, and you may actually hear from them. This is the insurance that will cover your water line from your house to the street, because your insurance, your regular insurance won't cover it, and the water company won't cover it. So when you see them come around, this agreement, which we hold, actually they rebate back to the town when you actually sign up with them. So you're serving yourself as well as helping the town's revenue fund. And we also talked about the Census Outreach Program. I want to say everybody should have in mind, keep the census reports, the census questionnaires will start coming out the middle of March, around the week of March 18th. We encourage you to start filling them out, getting them filled out as quickly as possible. If you have friends and families who have sensitive situations where they feel uncomfortable in terms of what their position is, please try to reassure them that this is number taking only. This is not about an individual or an individual status, but having those numbers is what funds our funds all of our schools, funds public funds that go to hospitals, funds our fire departments, funds our police departments. And so we lost $1 billion in Maryland by undercounting, an undercount. And they can determine an undercount basically by births and by children attending schools. And that's how they know we so undercounted. And the largest undercount was for children under 5. So keep that in mind. We'll have a program. We just received a grant from the state for a little over $7,000 to help us in promoting getting the census completed. And so we look forward to a successful 100% count in Colmar Manor. So next on the agenda is the mayor's report. I will bypass that because we have all my reporters right here in front of us right now, and I'm looking excited to move on with that. And council?
Pass.
Ward 2?
Oh, no ward report.
Ward 3?
No report.
Ward 4?
Just welcome everyone. Good to see everyone. That's it.
Okay, moving on to the treasurer's report.
All right, in order to speed things along as well, there's copies of the January report on the table. If there's not enough over there, just stop by tomorrow and we'll be glad to get you a copy.
All right, well, thank you for that. Treasurer Dan Baden, I will mention for the record that Mr. Barr is absent. And at this point, I would ask any committee reports that need to be reported, could be reported, or that we can pass that till next month.
Yeah. we can
Pass.
All right, with no pass, we'll move on. There's no unfinished business. And moving on to new business, swearing in.
Yay.
I'm gonna start with swearing in our code enforcement officer. That would be Mr. Wade. Raise your right hand. Okay. Are we all, put your people ready to go? Okay. So this is the Town of Colmar Manor Code Compliance Oath of Office for the state of Maryland and the county of Prince George's. I, Barry N. Wade, Sr.,
I, Barry N. Wade, Sr.,
do swear or affirm,
do swear and affirm,
as the case may be,
as the case may be,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States.
and that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance
I will be faithful and bear true allegiance
to the state of Maryland
to the state of Maryland
and support the Constitution
and support the Constitution
and laws thereof,
and laws thereof,
and that I will,
and that I will,
to the best of my skill and judgment,
to the best of my skills and judgment,
diligently and faithfully,
diligently and faithfully,
without partiality or prejudice,
without partiality or prejudice,
execute the office of Code Compliance
execute the office of Code Compliance
of the Town of Colmar Manor,
of the Town of Colmar Manor,
Prince George's County, Maryland,
Prince George's County, Maryland,
according to the Constitution and laws of this state
according to the constitutions and law of this state,
and the Charter of Colmar Manor, Maryland.
and the Charter of Colmar Manor, Maryland.
So I'm going to subscribe and swear before me, Sadar Barrow, Mayor, the Town of Colmar, Prince George's County, this 4th day, well, this is the 11th day of February 2020, and congratulations and welcome. We're going to have a further opportunity after we do our next swearing in. Okay, if we can have our new Chief Stone to come up. And raise your right hand. So, guys, this is a big deal. He's coming home. We're so happy to have him. And thank you so much, Chief Stone. This is the Town of Colmar Manor Chief of Police Oath of Office, State of Maryland, County of Prince George's. I, Tracy Stone,
I, Tracy Stone,
do swear or affirm
do swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States,
and that I will be faithful
and that I will be faithful
and bear true allegiance
and bear true allegiance
to the state of Maryland
to the state of Maryland
and support the Constitution
and support the Constitution
and laws thereof,
and the laws thereof,
and that I will,
and that I will,
to the best of my skill and judgment,
to the best of my skill and judgment,
diligently and faithfully,
diligently and faithfully,
without partiality or prejudice,
without partiality or prejudice,
execute the office of Chief of Police
execute the office of Chief of Police
of the Town of Colmar Manor,
of the Town of Colmar Manor,
Prince George's County, Maryland,
Prince George's County, Maryland,
according to the Constitution and the laws of this state
according to the Constitution and laws of this state
and Charter of Colmar Manor, Maryland.
and Charter of Colmar Manor, Maryland.
So I, Sadar Barrow, will subscribe and swear before me, Sadar Barrow, Mayor of the Town of Colmar Manor, Prince George's County, Maryland, on this 11th day of February 2020, and we will sign these documents. Congratulations. Thank you so much. You may now sit at the dais. So I think that we may have a couple of folks here with some response. If you would like to come up, we got Delegate Fennell.
First of all, good evening, Mayor and Council,
Good evening.
Police Chief Stone, Dan Baden, the citizens, and all the 47. I see you all in the house, my public safety. I came all the way from Annapolis. You see me running back and forth because Speaker Jones kept calling me, but I just want to let you know, your Speaker Jones made me the Assistant Speaker Pro Tem. So this night is not about me. This night is about each and every one of you, and especially Tracy Stone, who's been my friend for a long, long time. Long, long time. As you all know, I used to be the mayor and on the council here. You know, I'm so glad to have him home where, you know, where he grew up, which is in Colmar Manor, and where I reside. So we have a citation for you, and I wanted to let you know that Mr. Luss made sure that I got down here. I left a committee meeting, dinner, and everything, just to make sure that I came to be with each and every one of you that I love.
Thank you.
Come on in. Let me read it. Tracy, I'm going to do the privilege of reading. Mr. Brown usually goes out and does this for me because he didn't know if I was going to make it or not, but I want to make sure that I officially, the Maryland General Assembly, official citation, be hereby known to all that the sincerest congratulations is offered to Tracy D. Stone, Police Chief, in recognition of being sworn in as the Police Chief for the town of Colmar Manor. Your 37 years in public safety will enhance your leadership role as the police chief and will assist in making Colmar Manor a safer town. Presented on this 11th day of February 2020 by Senator Malcolm Augenstein, Diana Fennell, and Delegate Julian Ivey. We're so proud of you. Congratulations and well deserved.
Thank you.
Come on, take a picture. All of us, come on. Delegate, you got it?
Just arrived at the position. Can I see it?
Come on. And if the council and mayor and council come and join, and then all the police chiefs and police public safety officers that's here, please. Mayor and
So
council.
we have another citation, I believe, that's coming, so why don't we do that, and then we'll all come together
Okay,
and do
that's
that real
fine.
quick. All right, I think from Senator
that'd be
Barton's
fine.
office.
Oh, I forgot what's in the mayor and real name.
Thank you. Oh, yeah.
Good evening, Mayor.
Okay.
Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, council, residents. It's always hard to follow up Delegate Fennell. My name is Jared Hawkins. I am the field representative for United States Senator Ben Cardin. So we wanted to celebrate your swearing in as well as yours. So I guess we'll do the chiefs first. So what we have here is United States Senator Benjamin L. Carter, certificate of special recognition presented to Chief Tracy Stone. It says, congratulations on being sworn in as Chief of Police for the city of Colmar Manor. You have been bestowed with the great task and responsibility of keeping this city safe. Public service sometimes provides sacrifices that few understand, but we know the satisfaction of helping others is plentiful. I know that your commitment to service, our communities, and excellence will keep us safe and grow the great city of Colmar Manor.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Inspector Wade.
Okay. So, again, from Senator Ben Cardin, presented to Inspector Barry Wade. Congratulations on being sworn in as Code Compliance Officer for the City of Colmar Manor. Maintaining integrity to the city's code is imperative to maintain viable communities and city. Public service sometimes provides sacrifices that few understand, but we know the satisfaction of helping others is plentiful. I know that your commitment to service, communities, and excellence will grow the city of Colmar Manor.
Thank you.
Okay, with that said, I also want to recognize we have another elected official, Council Member Denny Tavares has come in, and Denny has been tasked from the county council level of really working hard to get our census up to date. I will let you know that I actually just gave them quite a little bit of speech about the census to let them know that. And so everybody's like super eager to now get our photo shoots and so forth. So if you got 1 minute to say, you can go ahead and do that. And I also, in the meantime, I'm going to let you all know, yesterday was Tracy's birthday, too. Yeah. So happy birthday.
And congratulations. Hi, everybody. As you know, I'm Councilmember Danita Veras. I represent District 2. It's such an honor to be here before this esteemed body. As you know, for me, I'm all about the census right now. I'm here actually for 2 reasons. I'm here because I'm actually supportive of Don Elio from Compare Foods. We know each other from back in New York, so we know a lot of the same people, good quality food. I just want to make sure that, I want to also be reflective of your concerns, and I know that he'll be amenable to working with you all. So on that end, from my New York crew and the National Supermarkets Association, which is a very esteemed body in New York, the highly respected, and he's a member of it. In terms of the census, I want to actually elevate the conversation a little bit. As you all know, I'm sure you probably already heard that the state of Maryland lost $1 billion in the census. The largest jurisdiction that lost money was where we stand today, Prince George's County, losing to the tune of $363 million. And I want to tell you, it doesn't need to be that way. It doesn't need to be that way. We cannot leave money on the table. So what I'm saying to you right now is that I've been working with products inside my community that I've developed strategically for hard to count populations. People who cannot read or write, people who need to be able to understand the importance and not be stymied by the fear of filling out the census. And I've been able to produce some of those products. I want to share with them today. These are from Mayor Miles. I'm just letting it be known. I'm sharing some of that today. I can drop off hard copies. But please, if you are interested, I would urge you to communicate with the Northern Gateway CDC for access to the licensing of this material. And I'm also working with AOBA, the Apartments Association, the Association of Office Buildings and Apartments, to provide all this material to all the apartments inside our inner beltway for free. And so the package includes 5 videos in English, French, Spanish, Mum, and a combination for Mum, that is the dialect of Guatemalans. And we are producing 2 flyers and bus wraps. This could be used for your trash cans, to decorate them, for your bus stops, and a slew of things. And I know that everybody got their new money from the state, so I'm just letting it be known that there are resources available if you would like to target the hard to count population. And if I recall correctly, I could bring the map, I got it in my car. Where we stand today, 50% of the population failed to be counted. So we cannot let that happen again. So with that, thank you so much. And if I could translate that a little bit?
Yeah, please.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Estamos aquí para darle 2 mensajes. El primero es que tenemos un compatriota dominicano aquí que está dueño de esta nueva supermarket que va a venir, el Compare Foods. Yo lo conozco de Nueva York, nos conocemos desde hace tiempo y estamos aquí para apoyarlo, primeramente. Segundo, estamos hablando sobre el censo. El censo es algo bastante importante porque la triste realidad es que nosotros perdimos $363 millones. Donde estoy parada ahora, 50% de la población no se dio a contar. Y eso no debe de ser permitido de nuevo. Nosotros perdemos poder político y dinero dentro de nuestras comunidades. Los niños de nosotros nos pueden comer en la escuela, están comiendo en el piso. No podemos permitir que eso ocurra de nuevo. Por favor, llene el censo cuando llegue y tenemos información para que usted lo haga y que lo haga a tiempo. Estamos aquí disponibles para servirle. Con eso, muchas gracias. Soy Danita Veras, la concejal del Distrito 2 en Prince George's County. Gracias. Thank you so much.
All right, well, thank you so much for that. Before closing, I just really want to say how grateful we really are. The blessings that have come to us has been enormous in that in losing our police chief back around Thanksgiving, where the county came in immediately, and we want to thank Chief Stawinski, I'm so sorry, but you know, love him still, for offering us Captain Gomez, Assistant Commander of Prince George's County District 1. Immediately, we almost went no days without a police chief acting in charge. And then the opportunity that came forth with not expecting it, where Chief Stone had retired from Bladensburg earnestly, without the intention having, and then him being available to come back and work with us again, and transitioning in, and also continuing to work with Cottage City with our code enforcement officer, and that's happened pretty significantly. With this super short run of Shoppers being closed, the grocery store being closed, and being able to have Compare Foods come in so quickly, this can only be called blessings. Yes. It's the only way you can see it, because there is so much difficulty in making anything move generally in government. And so this is where the Lord sweeps in and actually gives us an assist. And so with that said, we have food in the back so that you guys can network and talk to our Compare Foods, talk to our chief, talk to our code enforcement. There are residents here who you would like to meet and talk to. And before I do that, our new Chief Stone would have a couple words to say. All right.
I'm known for all my my speaking opportunities. Actually, I'm not, but there's a few thank yous I do want to make. And I guess first off to Pam. We've been together for a number of years. We count differently. I say she counts in dog years, but anyway, it's been a number of years. And towards the end of last year, I said, I'm retiring. And she said, no, you're not going to retire. I said, yes, I am. So I left Bladensburg at the end of December, and I said, I'm going to take a couple months off. We're going to take a couple trips, and we're going to do this. I'm going to do all this around the house. We took one trip, and I did a couple things around the house, and then I said I'm coming back here, and that went over well, but no, it was fine. Thank the mayor and council for the opportunity to be chief of police for the town of Colmar Manor. And thank my former co-workers at Bladensburg. I have a number of them here, including the acting chief, Captain Collington, and Lieutenant Callington in the back, and a few others spread throughout. Thank my neighboring police chiefs and police agencies who have come out, and I don't see her. Chief Awad is here. She's been very helpful. There she is. She was here before. She's been very helpful over the years, and I appreciate that. And again, all of the police agencies that come out over the years, and probably in the near future, I have reached out, and everyone has really stepped up and helped me out. Thank all the neighboring elected officials who have come out today. Worked with former Mayor Fennell, I don't know how many years, but now she's delegate. It's good to see her here. Person who is not here is Mr. Wells. Mr. Wells is the administrative assistant for the police department. He's the last one standing. There's no other staff in the police department, and he's been really helpful over the last week or so, getting me acclimated with things. Tell me a little bit about myself. I said coming home. Grew up here in Colmar Manor, attended Colmar Manor Elementary School, which is right next door. I try to compare how things have changed over the years. I know when I was little, the town seemed so big. Not quite, it shrunk over the years. Then I walked to elementary school, walked to the junior high school in Bladensburg, and took a bus from Cottage City to the high school. And so that's probably one of the big things that have changed. The other thing that's changed is the parking. That's a word we don't like to say around here. That seems to be one of the biggest issues, and we're working through that. The town over the last couple of years has committed to rectifying the parking situation, and it's headed in that direction with the parking permits. They've also committed recently to making sure that public safety has always been number one, but funding it, and our job number one is to get a couple of police officers in here, qualified police officers, and we'll move forward with that. Very fortunate to have Barry Wade. When I took the position, I said, I've got to hire a code enforcement officer. Oh my goodness, that probably, to me, is a little more difficult than the police officer part, but Mr. Wade comes to us. He has experience with Prince George's County code enforcement and a couple of municipalities, so looking forward to that. We are sharing him with the town of Cottage City. We have Chief Ayers here, and he's been very helpful over the last couple of weeks in getting things going. And I come back home from Bladensburg, been there for 37 years. And as I said, I grew up in the town of Colmar Manor. And I did a little research today. My family has been, my mother grew up in Colmar Manor, and I contacted my aunt today, who will be 100 years old next month.
Wow.
She moved here. She said that she moved here when she was 4. So the family has been in the town for 96 years.
Wow.
Even before the town was founded, incorporated in 1927.
Yes.
So they were here before that, so.
Wow.
With that, I'll shut up and enjoy the refreshments.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, well, we'll be taking a couple of photos as we move around, and so I will entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting.
I'll make that motion as stated.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, this meeting is now adjourned.